when I originally got it, it was a block of rust. I ended up getting it back in working order. Due to the age, there's concerns if the metal can stand up to higher pressures. Not that 22s are terribly high pressure, but either way, it still pays to be cautious, right? So I tried it out with some 22 shorts, and based on the results I ended up having, grossly underpowered results, I'm gonna test it out today. I'm at the 25-yard line, and I have some CCI quiets. So these only go up to about 710 feet per second. So these are subsonic, relatively low velocity lead bullets. Hopefully we can get it printing on the paper down there and see what we can do as far as that goes. The biggest concern that I have overall, it's the weak action on the Quackenbush. When they built this thing, head spacing was probably an afterthought, or at least that's what it looks like. So there's a little bit of a, kind of a pucker factor there as far as worrying about an in-chamber detonation of the shell or something like that. Now, this isn't super high powered like a 30-06 or something like that, so I'm not expecting something catastrophic, but I still don't want to destroy the gun. I don't want to risk getting shrapnel in my face. And overall, the objective, of course, is to get this thing shooting. Worst case scenario, it ends up as a wall hanger. I'd rather not do that, so that's why we're out here testing it. But anyway, I'll get the target set up down there at the 25, and we're going to get started with these CCI 22 quiets. Well, here we go. Let's give it a shot at 25. I don't feel like these are going to cause any kind of issue. They are chambering just fine. Low velocity, so I got a good feeling about this. Alright, I heard a hit. I don't see a hit, but I heard a hit. I'm hearing impacts, but I'm not seeing impacts. So I just conducted an experiment real quick because I noticed it was printing low again. I walked up to about 25 feet and I took aim and it started hitting where I was aiming. I think this thing might be able to do 22 long rifles in standard velocity. These low velocity ones, they're hitting low. They're hitting way low. I'm thinking I might need to step up the horsepower a little bit. And so far, everything's fine. I'm not seeing any issues. So maybe this thing's a little bit more robust than I actually give it credit for. So let's try it a couple more shots just to see how we're doing. Let's do 3 more with the quiets, and then let's try some standard velocity. Let's see if we can pull this off. Aiming at the very top of the target. I think we're seeing something here. I think we just figured this thing out. Let's go check out the target. Looks like we're finally making some headway here. So this one I was aiming about here, and these last 3 I was aiming here. So I think we're starting to get somewhere. The CCI 22 quiets, those also seem to be underpowered. I was probably looking at maybe 5 inches of drop just at 25 yards. So I think I'm giving this thing too little credit. So we're going to step it up a notch. We're going to go up to 40 grain standard velocity, 1,000 feet per second, Federals. Let's see how we do on this. That's more like it. Now it seems like that first one had a little bit of an extraction issue. I wonder if the shell overexpanded. We're looking good so far. We're facing extraction issues though. I think with that head spacing, the shells are getting expanded. So we're at the standard velocity. First couple shots, I was having trouble extracting. Now if you look very, very, very carefully, very slight, the shell is expanded, and that's kind of what I feared was due to the head spacing issue. So we just got to approach with caution. Same thing. Expanded shell. Those last two went high, it looks like. Another expanded shell. Let's see how we did. So this is actually telling us quite a bit. Standard velocities generally went high, but most importantly, look, every single one of them tumbled. Every single one. So we just learned some valuable lessons there. So the standard velocity here, no go. I'm not shooting any more of those. Couple of reasons. Not so much for the pattern that they were throwing, but every single one of them, every single one of those 5 shots of the standard velocity started tumbling. They hit the target going sideways. No bueno. The second issue was every single one of them had a failure to extract because of an expanded shell, and that's obviously due to the head spacing. Not terrible news, okay? It's just information gathering here. So no damage, no shrapnel on my face, but I will not be using standard velocity anymore. I did not seem to have any issues with the reduced velocity though. The quiet 22s, they seem to do okay. So 25 yards off the tripod, I was seeing severe drop from those lower velocities, but when I was standing at about 25 feet, they did actually pretty decently. They did okay. So I think I'm going to come to a conclusion here. It's a pop can shooter. Yep. It's not long range. It's not precision. This is something that I set up pop cans out in the yard or something, and I stand about 25 feet away and I just have fun with them. I got to keep velocity low to prevent any possibility of major damage to the gun or myself, especially looking at those expanded cases. Those are just 1,000 feet per second out of those Federals. So imagine if I would have put something high power out of there. I probably would have had a burst case. Not doing it. I'm glad that I approached all this with caution, especially seeing those head spacing issues. That tells you quite a bit. So with these old ones, these beat up ones, it's always best practice to approach with caution. Always.